Good evening, everybody. Welcome on in to another episode of Zophar's Realm. Thank you, Sue and Wolfie. I appreciate that. Hey there, Dream Rain. Yeah, Twitch Studio is just broken.
Here we go.
I'm working on converting us over to Streamlabs desktop.
Zophar's
It's probably going to take me at least a couple days. So until then, we're using this broken Twitch Studio that borked on the last update. And MCJXMCJ, thank you so much for the follow and for joining the realm and the domain. Your support is greatly appreciated. Yeah, Twitch Studio is, first of all, not forgiving when I wear a blue shirt over the green screen with a blue background. As you can see, I've given up messing with it. Doesn't like blue shirts. A couple of the web sources just don't work anymore after the last update. And of course, we have the garbled text weirdness. So I've accepted it, and we will be converting over to Streamlabs desktop, joining most of the rest of Twitch streamers. And we will say goodbye to Twitch Studio Beta. It lived a good life, it served its usefulness, I enjoyed it, and now it's time to move on. But anyways, I could, especially given that, well, I don't want to spoil it, but Zophar at some point in Lunar 2 is a disembodied head, so I can get behind that, Dreaming Rain. I can definitely get behind that. Okay, so a couple exciting things. First of all, I want to put up a poll, because, I love polls. I think I know what answers I'm going to get on this one, but I just wanted to pop this out there, so it's going to run for 10 minutes. And basically what the poll asks is, should Zophar stream Elden Ring eventually? I'm not saying it's imminent, but it is a game that I did purchase. I do own it now. I did bite the bullet and buy it. I have not actually started it yet. So I just am curious to know. I think I'm going to get a lot of no's, and I accept that if I do. But I just want to be sure. I want to kind of repeat the same question I asked on yesterday's stream to see if everyone is thinking along the same lines. So that's the first thing. Second thing, just a couple of days ago, I put up a goal for 400 followers. I aimed high. I thought we probably are not going to make it by March 3rd. We're probably going to be short by like 20, 25. And somehow we made 400 followers in 12 hours. You guys are amazing. All of you are awesome. Thank you so much, chat. I can't thank you enough for all the support. I don't know what to say other than I am speechless. So thank you. We're going to set a new goal. I don't even know what I should set the goal at. So we'll just say, we'll choose a modest one here. I actually did submit one of the 2 emoticon slots that we have open now for a new emoticon. It is a Lunar themed emoticon from this game. I won't spoil it, but I think you will enjoy it. And I have not yet submitted an animated slot, and that's just because I'm not very good with animated GIFs, so it takes me a while to find animated GIF ideas and then putting it into play. So I just ask you bear with me there, and I will get that going. So we will go ahead then, and we will create this new goal. Start new goal, and this one will be a sub goal, and this one will be right there. So this gives us just under 2 weeks. So there's our new goal for subs. So that will replace the follower goal. And so that's the second thing. And I missed a lot of chat. Let's see here. So yes, Dreaming Rain, the name Zophar actually came from Lunar 2 Eternal Blue for the Sega CD. That game came out in 94, 95, I think 95. And I created Zophar's domain in 96. I was not solely responsible for Zophar's domain. So many good people helped me with that site. Would not have been anything if not for my staff and all the people that helped me. So thank you to everyone that's ever worked on Zophar's domain before. The current staff and owner as well, doing a fantastic job keeping it going all these years later. So it looks like so far the poll is going as I thought it would, and that's okay. I accept that. And empty desk again. Thank you for that. But it wasn't just me. It was a whole lot of people, all of us together, that made that what it was. Yeah, so I actually, Dreaming Rain, I was there until the tail end of 2000, and I ended up departing somewhere. I want to say it was the late summer or early fall that I decided to focus, on my family and my career, and that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. But then about a month and a half ago, I decided to try my hand at Twitch streaming. So that was the second week of January. I was like, yeah, let me go do a few test streams. And here we are, a month and a half later. So yes, Empty Desk, I absolutely do plan on streaming a lot of the Sega CD and Genesis RPGs. So far we've done Shining Force, we've done Shining in the Darkness, we're now going to do Lunar.
Secure
and just
all
to show you...
Here we go!
Charge!
Full ahead. Next stop, Zophar's domain.
The case has seen better days, but I do believe you would be very happy, because I do own the Dark Wizard. And really, if you take the case out of the equation, it's in darn good condition. The disc is in good condition, the manual. There was this, I think it was, most of the manuals back then were black and white. But I mean, look, it's got cool maps. I mean, there's so many things that these games had that just games nowadays don't have. So we're definitely going to be playing some Dark Wizard at some point on this stream. But for right now, we are going to play some Lunar, and who knows, at some point, and again, ignore the green screen, it's a giant mess right now, but at some point, we will be playing this one, where the name came from and where it all began. Lunar 2 Eternal Blue for the Sega CD. What up, Soda Pagoda? How you doing? It's good to see you. Empty Desk, I'm curious about that. You think it's hard to emulate? I haven't tried it on an emulator yet, but do you find that it's glitchy? And which emulator are you referring to that you think is tough to emulate? I'm curious to know. Let's see, Dreaming Rain. You went through a bunch of names. Zero Soul, Vistrix Nexus, Atlantis, and now Rain. If truth be told, Zophar was not my first handle either. I had a couple different ones. For a very brief period, I was Galleon. How about that? Who you'll meet later in this game, by the way.
Here we go.
Oh, and by the way, I'm so sorry. I totally missed your follow when I was getting that game.
Zophar's domain.
So Empty Desk Zamboni and GZAG Genius 10304. Thank you so much for the follow and for joining the realm and the domain. Your support is greatly appreciated. It goes, Soda Pagoda. Well, my day's going okay. I'm excited that my work week is over. I work Tuesdays through Saturdays, so where most people are like TGIF, I say TGIS. Thank God it's Saturday. The bees! The bees! The bees! Just like that, like 5 times. Like. Alright, so you see, guys, how... And by the way, thank you, Dark Mex High, for redeeming the bees. You see how there's an after image right there? That's one of the things I'm referring to that Twitch Studio added in their new version. I'm saying that horribly sarcastically. Which is to say it leaves an after image. So the only way to really get rid of it is to either hide the layer or to play another video. It's crazy. So we're going to hide that layer for now. And if anybody ends up playing a video, I will re-enable it. And I promise in a few more days, this stupid green screen glitch, the SO player glitch, that glitch, the tech stupidity will all be in an end and will be on a nice, stable Streamlabs desktop. Hopefully by some point next week we'll be on it. I've already installed it and I'm working on it. So, let me see here. So, MCJ, you made a joke about the most recent Nintendo Direct being like, the chat is being mean and censoring you. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you said. But something wishlist with the Chrono Cross Radical Dreams being localized. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Square does with that. With the Chrono Cross remake. Sorry, I'm just reading all the quotes. I love the emoticons, by the way, Soda Pagoda. Appreciate you using them. Hilarious that I call it Handle. Oh, you got me, Suins Wolfie. Yes, yes, I'm dating myself. I was a BBSer in the 90s. Absolutely was. In the early to mid 90s. Yep, yep, yep. Some of your ROM hacking fans still call you a VN to this very day. Cool. Oh, I see the pirate hat. Don't worry, Soda Pagoda. We have a pirate hat for you right here. Right over here. Let me just don it properly. The green screen's like freaking out right now. So I'm probably going to mess with it in a minute. Okay. There we go. Why is the rum always gone? Why is the rum always gone? I'm going to just try to mess real quick, guys, with the green screen problem here. I'm not going to be able to fix it because, like I said, it's Twitch Studio Beta is just really broken right now. But let me see if I can at least get it to something somewhat acceptable here. Alright, so that's probably the best I can do for you. We'll up this a little bit. That's how it will probably be, so I hope you don't mind the snow in the background there. Yes, Dark Mex, it is still going. It is still going. So you're having to wrestle with an emulator of a tricky game. Yeah, apologies, Soda Pagoda. I haven't come up with a video for the Pirate Hat Redeem yet. Right now, I just pop it on, and then I take it off, and I don't really have a lot of fanfare yet. So if you have some suggestions, let me know, but it's on my list of things to improve for sure. Yeah, that is correct, Soda Pagoda. VIP and mods only. So if that was a hyperlink you were trying to post, then yes, that is exactly what happened. And there you go. It's very clear. No Elden Ring anytime soon on this thread. Oh, you said Zophar.net. That's pretty funny. Zophar's realm censored out the domain. The realm and domain are at war, apparently. No, we're not. So, yes, I was an IRC kid for a couple of years. Absolutely was. Yes, Soda Pagoda, you are correct. Just because I don't really have many mods right now, it's basically just the bots, DC Bueller, and not very many else. And yes, IRC does still live. And you can see the stars through my eyes, literally, because the green screen is incredibly broken right now. So I'm sorry, I know it's distracting. Okay, you were on ROM hacking channel on IRC. By the way, I don't know what you called it. I never used the term hashtag in the 90s. I called it either pound ROM hacking or number ROM hacking, but never hashtag, just so you know. And yeah, Discord seems to be what is mostly, at least for me, like, Discord does everything to me that IRC did, but it's better for privacy. Like, it doesn't reveal your IP address and so many other things that I just think are far superior. And Darkmex wants to know if I've seen a particular anime. Well, let me take a look at this YouTube link. I promise we will start playing Lunar at some point. I have not seen Konya wa Hurricane, and I apologize if I completely butchered the name. What's that anime about? Twin Tail Rider. Oh, whoa, look at you. MU Freak. I remember you. How you been? Oh my god, that must have been over 20 years ago the last time I talked to you. Did you nuke all the line endings for index.html? That's awesome. You'll have to remind me of that story. I probably once remembered it and my brain just doesn't keep it intact anymore. But I remember you, MV Freak. That's awesome. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Yep. Discord is where we're at now, it seems. Oh, this opening reminds you of that? I got you. I'll have to check it out. Yes, and yes. Alright, well, I think we're going to get started here. If there are no objections. We've got our pirate hat. We're wondering why the rum is gone. Savvy? So first I must do nothing. And we are going to load our state here now. I thought I saved in state slot 0. Ooh, that worries me. Uh-oh. You might have a small problem here. Shouldn't that be slot 0? Okay. I was like, why is it retaining state 3 when we were playing Shining in the Darkness? Shouldn't it be on 0? Did my save state go poof? But no. It's right here. We are good. Lunar the Singing Star. Yeah, you're not kidding. There's a lot of that in this game. The best version of Lunar, obviously. Yeah, so I feel similarly. I enjoyed all of them, except Dragon Song. We're not going to talk about that one. But the first 2 Lunars for Sega CD and then the 2 on PlayStation were all good, I thought. But the PlayStation Lunar changed so much of the story and nuked the amazing soundtrack. Its soundtrack itself was good, but like, why change what was already good? So I enjoyed it, and we'll play it eventually on the stream, but I thought this, by far, was the better version. And that's my opinion as well. And the pirate hat makes me pronounce it Lunar! Let's play some Lunar, me hearties. Alright, let's go. Where do we leave off? So we went to the White Dragon Cave. We got the Dragon Diamond, which was made from quarks. You know what? And then we came here. We tried to sell it. Couldn't sell it. Was told we need to go sell it in Maribia. But that means we need to get to Saith. But to get to Saith, we have to go find out what to do about the fact that the bridge is out. The only thing I might want to do is, I think we might have made a small mistake with one weapon that I gave Luna. We got her the sling, and I thought about it today, and I think that even though she's more protected with the sling, I think that the dagger will allow the battles to go faster. I'm not saying I want to speed the experience of this game up. I told you I'm going to be meandering around for a while with this game, but I do think that I want the battles to go better, and so we are going to try to buy a dagger for her. Now let me show you what that does. So if we go to status, and we go to Luna, over here, you'll see her attack power is 12. So now if we go over to Luna, and we equip her with it, whoops. Oh, you better be kidding me. Oh, really? She can't use it? Are you kidding me? Or am I just pressing the wrong button? Hold on. I think I'm doing something wrong. Oh, I'm trying to use... Duh! Don't mind me. Lack of sleep. Alright, so it gives her one more attack. So, I mean, it's not that much better. We'll see. That might have been a waste too. Luna's meant to heal. That's what she does. What will we do? The bridge is washed out. The river swelled suddenly and washed the bridge right away. It was so weird. And I completely know I read that all out of order, but I don't care, because we're not playing Lunar. We're playing Lunar! Jesus Christ. Alright, let's see. I think we're supposed to go west. We're looking for what to do about the fact that the bridge is out. That's what we're looking for right now. So Luna, I would not consider Luna to be the main character. I would consider her to be a supporting, very, very important character. Very central to the story. But Alex, if you could call a main character, Alex is the main character. Because Alex is the one that's trying to become a Dragon Master. Where Ramus is just Alex's friend, just tagging along. And now, Nal, you don't even know what Nal is in the beginning. You know, we call him the Flying Cat. I think the bridge is up here. Yeah, see how it's washed out? It's no use, Alex. The bridge has been completely washed out. So, somewhere here, should be... There we are. That's where we want to go. Now, if you're playing this for the first time, you literally are just meandering around and trying to talk to people to discover, like, where you're supposed to go. The game doesn't really, like... It's not like modern RPGs where just everything's directing you towards something. This, you really have to, like, figure stuff out. I like that. Alright. My husband is so forgetful. If his head wasn't attached, he'd leave it somewhere. Hey, it's like me. I'm at my wit's end. I just don't know what to do with him. Wouldn't you know it? Now I can fix the bridge, but I've lost my axe. Now where did I leave it? Aha! I think it was in my shed in the Weird Woods. Are you hard of hearing? I told you I don't have my axe. I think I left it in my shed in the Weird Woods. Can't fix the bridge without. Now where are the Weird Woods? Say, if you go along the river and head due north, you'll get to the Weird Woods. Wow. In the woods, my husband has a storage shed where he sometimes sleeps. I'm sure he left his axe in the shed. I'd go myself, but there are too many monsters in the woods lately. I think that should say there are. I found a typo. That shouldn't be too hard to find. Let's go get his axe, Alex. So it's north. I'm just supposed to go north. I guess that's all the help we're gonna get as we go north. Let's see here. Yeah, she's more like, I would say she's closer to Zelda, Dreaming Rain, but I don't want to give story points away, so you'll find out more about her as it goes on. You want to know, has any emulator dev thought about making a fast forward that keeps music sound at normal speed? That would be really hard to do, because I would have to imagine, especially the old game systems, the processor's controlling everything. And so, unless there's separate processors independent of each other, some game systems had separate processors, but most didn't for the retro systems. To make it so that the game ran faster, but the sound didn't, I don't know I don't know how you do that. I don't think it will work. I think it's logistically not possible for most systems. Iagra, which I know I messed up your name again because we had a whole discussion on the last stream about how to pronounce your name, and I plumb forgot. It's my piratey brain. You wonder if there was ever a game that took a gruesome bent where someone said, "I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached," and later down the road we find them decapitated somehow. If there was, it was probably one of the Monkey Island games. You ever play The Secret of Monkey Island or any of them? There's definitely a joke about a headless skeleton later on in the series. I think it was the third one. He even had a name, and he was just making headless jokes the whole time. Iagra. Or Aiagra. Iagra? Like I? Like a pirate? It's either Iagra or Aiagra. I'm gonna say it's Iagra. Iagra. Yeah, got it. Iagra. Okay. I'll do everything I can to remember that. So the V is silent. Oh boy. So Empty Desk Zamboni, it's actually CD audio. Almost all of the music is just Red Book CD audio. There's a couple of tracks that are not. So, like, the battle music, I don't think is. I think the battle music is not a track. And then there's a couple others, like, I'll try to point them out when they happen, that were also not CD audio. And I think the reason why is probably they just ran out of space on the CD. Like, CD audio obviously takes up a lot of the room. And so I just guess they probably just picked a couple tracks that they couldn't make be CD and had that be just, compressed. I don't think anything in this was compressed. I think it was just PCM for those couple of tracks. Lunar 2 compressed everything, which is why I liked the PlayStation version of Lunar 2 a little better than the Sega CD version, because it sounded better. And they got rid of that awful save mechanic, which we'll talk about that another day, because that was ridiculous. But yes, that is correct, Empty Desk Zamboni. Straight CD audio is probably more doable for the fast forward idea. Yeah, so Dreaming Rain, in a situation like this, that would be doable, because all the emulator is doing with the soundtrack is just telling it to play a track. So that could work for something like this, but that's not most game systems. Most retro systems like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, I don't think it would work. All right, so we have to go to the Weird Woods, which is a lot of fun, and by fun I mean we're probably going to get lost, but that's okay. Maybe this wasn't a good idea, because look, Luna's not even allowed to attack now because she's too far away. I don't know, maybe the sling was better. A lot of random battles here. Kids these days, these young whippersnappers. So no, Casey Longest, I am not. I am actually using an emulator for this game, because although I do have 2 Sega CDs, I don't want to deal with the ridiculous load times and the fact that, as much as I love my Sega CDs, both of them were very unreliable. Like, sometimes it would just stop reading a disc. Like, that's just what would happen. So I opted to use an emulator, and that is what we have. Maybe you can convince me, because I've looked up, I've read about misters, and I'm just not understanding the benefit of a mister over an emulator. Like, if you're looking for the authentic experience, and just, use the real hardware if you're that, like, you want it to be exact, like speedrunners, like that kind of stuff. But what would a mister do for me, for example, for this, that the emulator's not doing? Imagine that, right? It's only appropriate. But no, this is a real question. I want to know, because I don't understand. Like, I keep thinking about it, I keep reading about them, and I'm still not getting it, like, what the benefit is. If that makes sense. This is to heal your magic, but I guess we're good on magic. So I guess well, we barely lost anything. So I guess what we could do here is heal, and then step into this, and get the magic back. There we go. Sweet. Alright, so we're still looking around for the weird woods. I haven't found them yet, clearly. Yes, Metal Ness is gonna rock. Man, I hope I can, hope I get to talk to him again one day. Placer was amazing, and is amazing. It's been so many years. Some people are diehard on low latency. Mr. offers that. Alright, so let me ask this question. So if you're diehard on low latency, my guess is maybe you play competitively, you're a speedrunner, like because you need that reaction time. Or I guess certain games like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, for example, like I can understand that. But then at that point, why not just use the original hardware? Well, I guess because Mr. offers some of the things that emulators offer, like save states and whatnot. But then again, so does the original hardware with those cards. Yeah, I saw that. Looks incredible. Dreaming Rain, are you asking about Metal Ness? Because if you are, I only know what I read that day when it was posted to GitHub. Latency is important for platformers. I agree with that. And eventually, original hardware will decay and fail. That's the good point. But that's why I'm using emulators. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one day I will decide that there is a reason for me to try a Mister, but at present... I mean, like, if someone handed me one and said, here, to take this and try it, I'll do it. I just don't know if I want to put money into that right now. Like, that's not where I want to put the money right now in the beginning. I hope that makes sense. So RetroArch, or RetroArch, depending on how you pronounce it, has Run Ahead, which can eliminate built-in input latency and make games like Mortal Kombat actually responsive. Can't use it for speedruns. Basically, emulations even better than original hardware depending on the game. Okay, I agree with you. I have not played the FF6 Pixel Remaster, although I love FF6. It's my favorite Final Fantasy. But I watched, God, where was I? I think it was Retrograde Tom. I was in his channel watching it, and the soundtrack sounded great, but I don't know about the... How do I explain this? First of all, the text windows, I don't know what the heck they were thinking there. It just looks like they took like something I could make in Notepad and just stuck it in the game. So that I thought was terrible and distracting as heck. The other thing is the sprites looked good, but there were these weird backgrounds that also looked good on their own, but together with the sprites just didn't, I don't know, it didn't feel like it matched. It's hard to explain. It just, I don't know, the whole thing felt weird to me. So, would I play FF6 Remaster? I would. Would I stream it? Sure would. Do I think if you take the soundtrack away, is it better than the original Super Nintendo? No. Sorry. I think it looked better on the Super Nintendo. I really do. Because it looked like it all fit together. Does that make sense? Like, there's aspects that look better of the remaster to me, but they don't all fit. It just looks like it doesn't belong. It's like if I guess the best way to describe it is if I wear like this, like, awesome blazer, like, on the top of me, and then for my pants I wore, like, sweatpants. Like, it just... Do you know what I'm saying? That's how it felt to me. There's no need for configuring on a Mister. Yeah, that's a good point, because yeah, on RetroArch, there's definitely a lot of configuration. There's no question about it. It's okay. You convinced me. I can see some benefits to a Mister then. But yeah, I guess it depends on what you're looking for. And I'm all about emulation forever, aren't I, Suin's Woofy? Grinding isn't fun to watch, though. Oh, well, I apologize, because you're going to see a lot of that right now. Sorry. I like to play a lot of games that have a lot of grindiness. These must be the weird woods. Alex, they're supposed to be haunted. Ooh. Now, listen to this music. This is the stuff I'm talking about. The Lunar for PlayStation, this is gone. All the sounds, all this music is gone. There's other cool soundtracks, but nothing like this, or the creepy Dragon Cave music, or the, you'll see, like I'll point it out as we go. So, you know, they're both good, but this is where it's at. The Sega CD version of Lunar, I really believe if you've never seen this, you are getting a treat right now. This game is great. And I think it's superior to the PlayStation version because of the story and the soundtrack. But yes, I do try to engage with the chat. My multitasking skills do kind of suck, so I apologize if sometimes I get so into the chat that I start making a lot of mistakes or I just stop playing. And then sometimes if I'm like really engaged, like I have to figure out something in a game, I might like temporarily not be looking at the chat. But I always try to stay as engaged as possible because, you know, to me that's the whole point. Like, if you just wanted to watch me play a game, you could just watch like a YouTube video. But you want to engage, and that's what I want to do. Do I have Snatcher for Sega CD? Okay, so that's an interesting question. I don't actually have it. I had it. If this makes any sense. I had Snatcher at one point. I don't even know how I got it. I think I bought it off of eBay or something. Because where do you find it? Like, I don't remember it ever being in stores. I bought it like much later. I had it. Like, I can't even tell you who I got it from. And then I lost it. I think I lent it to somebody. Does that make any sense? I remember it being like a... What do you call those games? Like a story game? Like a lot of like... What do they call those games? It's not a text game, but it's like a... There's a visual novel. Thank you. See, my brain doesn't work today. It was like a visual novel, like Choose Your Own Adventure. Yes, correct. So I had it at one point, and I don't know where. I don't know what happened to it, and I don't remember how I got it, who I got it from. Most games I can tell you. I remember when I bought this. I remember I went into Game Gallery in Philly, and I remember, you know, going up there and plopping down $50 that I'd been saving up, and I got Lunar 2. I can tell you most of these games. Shining in the Darkness, I told you guys, for those of you that were here for the Shining in the Darkness stream, the story about my grandfather and how it cost $75, and it was one of the most expensive Sega Genesis games at the time. But I couldn't tell you how I got Snatcher. I don't remember anymore. It's really weird, like what you remember and what you don't. And I can't tell you where it went. We'll do one more heal for Ramus here. Alright, let's come down here. Oops. Tiara received. So, I think we're going to put that on Luna. But before we do that, let's go see what it does for her. So right now, her defense power is 4. What's her anti-magic? And anti-magic's 81. So if we equip the Tiara, and we look at her status, 6 and 86. Okay, so it's a little better. Now we can also give her, I think, the heavy clothes. So let's see what the damage is there. 8 and 86. Okay. Did that do anything? All right. I think you're supposed to equip yourselves with herbs. So let's do that. He doesn't need it. These are nothing there, nothing there. Okay. All right, we'll give it a little save here. And let's keep going. Ba-da-bum. Hey! I know who this is. Ho, ho, ho. I'm Lake, a traveler. Hi, Lake. Yeah, someone snatched it. Ba-dum-bum-ts. Good job, Mars Caleb. 75 bucks for Phantasy Star 3, yeah. I hear that. You seem to be a nice bunch of kids. What are you doing here? What? You're on an adventure like you're here dying? Well, that's rich. Well, then carry on. Did he say anything else? Say, kids, just call me Lake, okay? If you want adventure, you better get off this little island. There's nothing special going on around here. Doesn't he seem a little friendly for a stranger? Well, hello, Phoenix Force 98. I said that in a very Hannibal Lecter voice there. Whoa. Well, hello, Clarice. Yes, so Mars Caleb, there's a lot of that. You're going to see, like, only certain characters in this game get, like, long intros with voice actors. Most of them are like that. But in the PlayStation version, they all get voice actors. And they get, you know, longer intros. But again, this was 1993, so it's a little bit more of a lo-fi experience compared to later titles. Strangers are allowed to be nice people. That's true. They are. Alright, yeah, guys, I don't know where the hell to go. We're just gonna guess. Maybe this way. Nope, that's a dead end. And we can't get that yet. That's, oh, great, just our luck. It's locked. Yep. So let's come down here. And we'll fight. We'll fight the bees, the bees, the bees. Gumby falling on a hot plate. Oh my god, that's a tough thought. What would that be like? Poor Gumby. And then Pokey would just be like, oh, Luna got a level. Pokey would just be like hovering over Gumby's like dead gum body and just be really upset. Wow, this conversation.
Secure all
weird.
positions. Here we go.
How did we get here?
Full ahead. Next stop, Zophar's domain.
Chronibly, thank you so much for joining the realm and the domain. Your support is greatly appreciated. Yes, Empty Desk Zamboni. Actually, Sega CD did come with other games, and unfortunately, I think the games that I think they're in my attic right now. I'm just looking across here. Yeah, the games that it came with are in the attic, but I'll tell you, the original Sega CD came with, ooh, another level. So it came with Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective Volume 1. It came with an audio sampler CD. It came with a CD plus G CD. So think like karaoke, essentially. Boy, this green screen really sucks. I apologize, guys. And then it also came with Solfease, which a lot of you have probably seen me play on previous streams. So let's see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and it came with Sega Classics 4 and 1. It was 4 and 1 at the time. So Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Shinobi, and Columns came with all of that. Mine did. Later on, they just bundled it, I think, with Sewer Shark, and they pulled everything else out because, you know, this. Pacifami is cycle accurate. Pacifami, for the time, you wouldn't get anything more accurate than that in 1996. Yeah, so it was mind-blowing for the time. Like, think about, at the time this came out, Final Fantasy II, which is 4, had just come out. So think of the difference in the technology between Final Fantasy II, which is 4, and this. The fact that this had a CD soundtrack, and this had some voice acting, and, like, you know. Yeah, Final Fantasy IV looked better. There's no doubt, but the soundtrack in this was just unbelievable. And so was that Final Fantasy, by the way, but the technology just made it that much better. That's why it's a shame. Like, I wish this game would get a real remaster. Not like it did when they changed everything on the PlayStation version, but just keep this intact and just upgrade the graphics. That's literally all they'd have to do. Upgrade the graphics and do some quality of life changes. Like, for example, every time I want to equip something, don't make me have to do this and then go buy it and then go look again. Like, that's silly. Like, just that kind of stuff. I don't know why they don't do that. They shouldn't do that. Game Arts, I think, is still around, right? Working Designs isn't, but they didn't make the game. They just localized it. I think Game Arts is still around. Ooh, I missed a lot of chat. Let me see here. Landy Ness. I remember Landy Ness. Oh my god, we're getting really, we're getting retro on the retro emulators now. Oh my god. Oh, so Dreaming Rain brought you here, probably. That's awesome. I appreciate you coming by. Enjoy your stream. And Final Fantasy IV was awesome, but I still think 6 was the best one. But 4 was awesome. Hey, Casey Longest, I agree with you. Even though Super Nintendo had the 8 channels of digital sound, find something that sounds awesome to me, like Sonic the Hedgehog, Toe Jam and Earl, Streets of Rage. Find that on the Super Nintendo. You won't. Okay, we should get the axe now. Hooray, we found the axe. That was just too easy. Let's get it back to the woodcutter so he can fix the bridge. Think there's anything else to do in here? Should we look around? I feel like I'm getting a lot of levels. Oh my god, look at our health. We gotta heal. I'm so enthralled with the chat here. I'm not healing my dudes and ladies and gentlemen in my party. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a few of those, actually. Oh, don't flee! No, no, no! Oh, Luna, don't flee. Damn it. That was not what I wanted to do. Alright, doesn't matter anyway, because we're about to kill it. Thanks, Pronably. Appreciate that. Definitely catch you on the flip side. You know who loves to say that? Catch you on the flip side? You guys ever been to one of the Retro Runner streams? He streams a lot of Ninja Gaiden. He holds the world record for it. He loves that phrase. Catch you on the flip side. Hey, Media. How you doing? The stream's going pretty well. We're making a little bit of progress. I mean, I would say it's 20% playing the game and 80% me babbling about stuff today. But we're having a lot of fun, I think. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are too. And we just got the woodcutter's axe in Lunar for Sega CD. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take that back to the woodcutter, and then allegedly he can fix the bridge so that we can go over it and down to safe. That's the plan anyway. The plan works. Work the plan. So Game Arts is still around, but Studio Alex is RIP. And Studio Alex, I know, made the Lunar games. That was the studio that worked on it. Thanks, Dreaming Rain. Appreciate that. And yes, Phoenix Force, that's a good point, because yeah, Phoenix Force, you hit the nail on the head. Because Game Arts did come out with Lunar Harmony, right? Was the last attempt at this on the PSP, I think, maybe, right? What was it, like 10 years ago? 11 years ago? Something like that. And the localization from Working Designs, obviously, they didn't use it, so they relocalized or retranslated it themselves, and it just was not the same. Like, all the jokes and, like, eating your Wheaties and, like, all the other funny things in this, like, they ripped it out. Plus, it was based on the PlayStation version, not the Sega CD version. So, I'm with you there. We agree. You guys think I missed anything here? Like, I feel like I haven't been everywhere. We should not equip that axe, if I'm not mistaken. I'm definitely not equipping that. Yeah, we can't get that. That's nothing. I guess we'll just go back. Hopefully we got everything. Yeah, I agree, Medio. I don't think anything has done this justice. You know what the best version of Lunar for Sega CD is? Lunar for Sega CD. Right there. Or there. There. Wow. I'll eventually figure this out. I'll eventually figure out where I am in space. Space. The final frontier. Tranquility! Yeah, we need healing. Now, does Tranquility give us better healing? The answer is yes. But it costs a lot more magic, as you would expect. As you would expect. PlayStation versions are your absolute favorite. Hey, I have them both. I think they're awesome. And I would say that the PlayStation version of Lunar 2 is superior to the Sega CD version of Lunar 2. But I still like this version over the PlayStation version, Lunar 1. And when we get to those story points, by the way, you already know how I feel about the soundtrack. Freaking amazing on the Sega CD. But when we get to the plot points that were changed, like the ones I'm really sensitive about, I shouldn't say sensitive, it's whatever. I enjoy them all. But there's this one particular plot point that, like, I remember when I was playing the PlayStation version of it, and I got to the part where the thing that I was expecting to happen should have happened, and it never happened, and I was just like, what the heck, man? Like, it's such like an emotionally raw thing that happens, and it just doesn't happen in the PlayStation version. And if you know what I'm talking about, for the benefits of those who have not seen this yet, I would just ask that you try to keep it as spoiler-free as you can. Yes, Dreaming Rain. So there is, and I will actually give it to you right here. So if you click on that Discord link that I just pasted in there from Nightbot Dreaming Rain, that will take you to a page where you can accept it, and it should take you right into my Discord channel. The boat song, yes, we concur. Amazing. Oh yes. So, all right. Let me backtrack on what I said. There are some things about the PlayStation version that I actually did like. That was one of them. And between the two Lunars, my favorite voice sample in battle was probably, I think it was Leo, and it was "Sample My Goods." Feel free to clip my horrible impression of that, by the way. Awesome, Dreaming Rain. Do I prefer random encounters? Oh, what a great question. We were just talking about this the other day. So, here's my stance on this. In dungeons, I actually like being able to see the enemies, because I get lost a lot. For those of you that watched the Shining in the Darkness stream, me beating it over the last week and a half, you know that. I get lost very fast, and random encounters make my brain reset, and I'm like, oh crap, where was I? Was I going north? Was I going south? Like, where am I? So I actually like being able to see them in dungeons, but in the overworld, they need to be random. I hate the games that have, like, you can see the enemies in the dungeons, and they just pull them away from the overworld. Like, the overworld just has no monsters. Like, there are monsters everywhere, like, right? Like they don't just live in dungeons in these worlds, do they? At least that's just my opinion. So, to answer your question, dungeons, I like to see them, and overworld, I like it to be random. KC Longest, you just asked me if I've streamed any TurboGrafx or PC Engine. So the answer to that question is I have not streamed any of it yet, but I do own some TurboGrafx stuff, and I could definitely stream that stuff at some future point. Now, that being said, there weren't a lot of TurboGrafx games that I really liked. I kind of liked Blazing Lasers, but I suck at it. I liked the Bonk games, Bonk's Adventures and whatnot. Lufia 2 does it really well. So I played both 1 and 2 Lufia on Super Nintendo. I beat the first one. I never beat the second one. I won it one day. I actually saw Hungry Goria was streaming it the last couple of days. I was catching her stream. By the way, if you never caught a Hungry Goria stream, you must. She's awesome. Mars Caleb. So you're asking me about 7th Saga, where you can see them but not directly. So thumbs up on that. 7th Saga had a lot of problems, by the way. That was not one of them, though. The ability to see them on the map still is random, because they're randomly appearing. It's just you're getting to see like a window into the random number generator that's deciding when you're gonna or not gonna get hit. So I had no problem with that. I liked that. What I didn't like about 7th Saga was the ridiculous difficulty, because someone screwed up when they brought it to the US and introduced this crazy bug that can actually leave your game soft locked and unable to proceed depending on how you handle levels. I did not like that. Hope that answers your question. Let's go get our magic back, and then we'll cast Tranquility, and then we'll get our magic back again. Now we all should be full, and we'll see. See what I'm talking about, though, with quality of life? So this is an example of what I mean. I just had to step into the magic to then heal us, and then step back into it to get the magic back. Like, that kind of stuff is very antiquated, and that's why I'm saying, like, they should remaster this, leave the story alone, leave the soundtrack alone, just make it look better, and fix the silly quality of life stuff, like the weird healing, magic or regular healing, and having to cast spells and then go back again, and the weapons and armor, you can't see what they do, like all that stuff. That's what they should fix. Hey, Ice Queen Zero, how you doing? Howdy. We got another couple of slots, by the way, Ice Queen Zero, so I created a Lunar icon that I'm waiting for approval on, so we should be seeing that hopefully in the next week. So, let me tell you about Wise 1 and 2. And is it pronounced Wise or YS? I never knew how to say it, so I just called it Wise. Maybe it's Ease. Maybe I've been totally wrong. I never got into them. Like, they just reminded me of, like, they felt Zelda-ish to me. I had no problem with Zelda. I love the first one, love the third one. I never got into them for some reason. Ghouls and Ghosts kicked my ass. I had Ghosts and Goblins for Nintendo. I had Ghouls and Ghosts for Sega Genesis. I can't beat any of them. I just can't. I'd have to save scum, like save state all the way through. Did I see the Live a Live remaster? Empty Desk Zamboni. Expand on that. What is that? It's Ease. Wow, I've been saying it wrong all this time. How horrible. Ease 1 and Ease 2. Got it. I'll remember that. Probably. You'd like to see a remaster where the Japanese language is translated without an American twist to it. So, this is the thing, Soda But Good. We were talking about this the other night, too. I guess I like to see multiple versions of things, too. But, like, my nostalgia is so strong, and the reason I loved this so much, there were a bunch of reasons, but the localization was definitely a big part of it. Because without the localization, what makes this game any different from any other JRPG? Really think about it. Like, the story itself felt amazing back then, but now if you look at it, it's like, okay, well, it's... I don't want to spoil it, by the way. But it's like, you see this kind of story in like so many animes now. What made it great was, like, I chuckled at every other line, like the jokes about the diamond and the jokes about the Wheaties and there's just so many things. Say, you found his axe. That's wonderful. Now we can fix the bridge. Gave the logger his axe. Ah, my axe! You found my axe! It was in the shed like I thought, wasn't it? Well, anyway, now I can get to work fixing that bridge. Thanks again. So it made the characters feel real to me, like someone like you could almost like meet like down the street or something, the way they would talk. Oh, we got a level! How are we doing on levels anyway? Let's see. Level 9, level 7, level 8. I have no idea if that's good or bad. I can't remember. It's been so many years since I played this game. What's that? I missed what he said. My husband does good work, but he can be kind of, well, slow. Hey, just like me. You might want to check back a little later. We can do that. But yeah, so Soda Pagoda, I think that I would be curious now to see what a non-localized version now would look like. Like if they just literally did a direct translation. I just feel like there'd be a lot of jokes that I just wouldn't get. Like things that would make sense if I was like, you know, if I understood Japan, I lived in Japan, that kind of stuff. So, it'd be interesting to see the differences though, for sure. Live a Live was a Super Famicom RPG with 8 different settings, so it's an RPG, okay. Western Prehistoric Future remastered for Switch. Oh, interesting. Huh. So it never was released in the US until they redid it for the Switch then, Empty Desk Zamboni? Jokes and culture stuff will probably get lost in translation. Yeah, that's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. That's what I think would happen. Okay, where's that bridge? Right here. It's no use. Oh, jeez. What do we have to do to get it to appear? Do we just fight a few battles and then come back? Do we have to go back in town? I don't remember. We'll try going back in the Lager house, and if he's not back yet, we'll go all the way back to Berg, and then we'll come back again, is what we'll do. Never I. What does that mean, never I? Yar! This chair be high, says I. Ho, ho, ho. Oops, that's Santa Claus. The bridge will be finished very soon. But that didn't change anything. He just was there, and then he went back out again. Alright, I'm going to try going back to Berg, and then we'll come back to him again. We'll see if that does anything. Let's see, is it this way, I think? Pretty sure? Fairly sure? Bow, bow, bow. Mana, 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 bow. And yeah, Mars Caleb, I'm sorry, I didn't respond to your comment earlier when you were talking about how 7 Saga can get soft locked, and you know, we used to think the Japanese versions were harder, but now we think the reverse. It's weird. It actually turned out it's both. Some games were harder for the Japanese, and some games were harder for the US, and it's just depended on which games you played, and that's the perception you would have. So like, I had the perception that the Japanese programmers that would bring these games here thought that American audiences couldn't handle tougher games, so they would, like, you know, dial down the difficulty. That was my perception when I was a kid. That's how I felt. But then, of course, you play stuff like 7 Saga, and it's like, when I played 7 Saga, all I thought was, oh my god, what must this game have been like in Japan? It must have been impossible. But no, it actually was normal in Japan. They just screwed it up when they brought it here. Never released. Oh, no worries. I'm going to ask my dad if it's okay to go to Maribia. You should ask your dad, too. No, don't leave the party. Damn it. Oh, well. I don't know how long that will be the case for. So you're all leaving for Maribia, huh? It's a big decision. A bit concerned, though. Not for you, Alex. But for Ramus. He's so spineless, he'll never leave this island. Never leave this rock. Welcome to the rock. How can you be so cruel? Ramus isn't spineless. He's just not as brave as Alex. Okay. Alright, so we gotta go to Dad and Mom. What? You're gonna cross over to the mainland? I suppose that all boys are adventurers at heart. I won't stand in your way. Let me write you a letter that may help you get a boat to take you from safe. Don't worry about your mother. I'll handle her. All I ask is that you promise me never to settle for less than everything you ever dreamt of achieving. Father's letter received, whatever. Alex, an adventure's one thing, but now you're saying you're going to Maribia? You're still too young, my dear little baby. Sorry, I've decided. Okay, I won't say another word about it. Please take this with you. Hey, 500 silver! Okay. I don't think we can do anything else here right now. Do we... Let me see something. He's got that, he's got that. We can probably sell the peasant clothes and the tattered clothes. We'll hang on to the sling for now. And then we may or may not want some... do we want herbs? I don't think we really need herbs. I think we're fine without them. Let's go sell what we've got here. So, go to sell. Yeah, that's also true. But I mean, take Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. That came out here first. And then when they released it in Japan, do you remember what they called Final Fantasy Mystic Quest over there? They called it Final Fantasy USA. That's what they called it. That's right. Final Fantasy USA. Yep. That's what they called Final Fantasy Mystic Quest in Japan. That should tell you everything you need to know. And that's, you know, where that perception came from. Tattered clothes. Peasant clothes. We'll keep the sling for now. You don't have any new weapons, right? And can we get Luna? No, Luna can't use that. All right, so yeah, there's nothing really to buy here, and I don't think we really need anything here, but we'll look just in case. Yeah, we don't need anything. Nope. Don't be a stranger. So the music in FFMQ, I will say some of it is awesome, especially the final dungeon is kick-ass, and the final boss, also amazing music. So those two were great, and the rest was solid. I would say it was a very solid soundtrack. That was probably the best thing about the game, because it was really boring. I think maybe if it had been my first RPG, I would have loved it, but because it wasn't, like I had already played Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy 2/4, and I think I had a Sega CD when Mystic Quest came out. Mystic Quest was what, 92? Chat, right? I think it was 92. Alex, I've heard that you're leaving for Maribia. Aren't you concerned about your parents? They'll be worried sick if you leave. Please don't go. You gotta go, man. You gotta do it. Gotta break the cycle. Oops. Maribia's supposed to be very exciting. Come on, take me along, please. I've heard you're gone over to Maribia, young Alex. I think that's great. One who has met the White Dragon is destined for great things. So, Alex, I heard that you're leaving for Maribia. You already said that, which means I already talked to you. Where is Ramus's... Where is Ramus? Is it here? Ramus didn't listen to his father's warning and left home anyway. Ramus, what will I do? Ramus just got home, and now he's talking about leaving for far-off Maribia. Alex, can't you knock some sense into him? I can't. That sounds violent. We're going to save here real quick. Let's see. Chat, what do we got? Oh, hey there, irate Mexican. How you doing? Love the bumblebee, by the way. Or is that, what is that? Is that a... It looks like a bumblebee. Whatever it is, it's an awesome emoticon. And yes, I would have to agree that if Japan wants to keep coming up with stuff like that for us, power to them, bring it here. I'll play them all. So, Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy, your first RPGs. Yes, Dragon Warrior 1 and the strategy guide. Don't forget the strategy guide. Same here, same here. Did I play any DOS RPGs from back in the day? Well, yes, I did. I played Eye of the Beholder for both Sega CD and DOS, as well as 2 and 3. I did play a little of the there were so many Ultimas. I played a couple of them. They were okay. I wasn't good at them, so I never beat a single Ultima game, unfortunately. I did play some Might and Magic for DOS. I played... Oh boy, there were a couple AD&D games other than Eye of the Beholder that I played, but I wasn't good at them either. But I did play some of them. Like I remember I got a box that just had a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons games, and I can't remember which ones. One of them had the word sun in it. It's been so many years. I wasn't good at that one. But so to answer your question, the answer is yes. I did play some DOS RPGs, and I just was very bad at most of them. Do we count Diablo? The first Diablo as a DOS RPG? Does that count? Actually, I don't even think... Was Diablo... Or was that Windows 95? God, it's been so long. I think Diablo might have been Windows only. Yeah, I think you're right. Dark Sun. That was at Empty Desk Zamboni. Very good. Dark Sun. There was an old DOS game called Darklands that was interesting. Kind of janky and buggy. And you had to cheat because you didn't understand that 15-year-old inserts of you and your friends get instantly slaughtered by backstreet thugs. Yeah, that's always a tough one. I couldn't figure out in the Might and Magic DOS games that, like, you're not supposed to go very far past the area that you start at without leveling, so I would, like, just go everywhere, and I would just get annihilated. Where do we go now, guys? Is there anywhere else we haven't been? Did we go here? Yeah, you already said that. Say hi to your parents. Lots of shady characters in Maribia. If you don't watch it, they'll pick your wallet clean. Be careful. Are you foreshadowing something? I messed up. The goddess Althena is said to live in the goddess's tower on the mainland. There are even tales of her visiting Maribia. Imagine if you met her. Imagine that, chat. I guess we should check that, shouldn't we? So the question is, will Ramus be waiting for us at the entrance? There's always more people to talk to. This game's crazy. It has so many people to talk to. I love it. One of the reasons I love it. Good luck. Please come back alive. I need a lot more of your lessons. Oh, God. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Do you think that's in the Japanese version? I don't know. But, like, you know. Anything else our parents can do here? Luna's going too. Oh, Alex, do you know how much you're taking on here? Don't worry, you won't be gone too long. Luna, keep an eye on Alex for me. I love you both so much. We'll see you again soon. Alright, let's go and see if the woodcutter is ready for us. Enough meandering, right? Ooh, don't hate me, Empty Desk Zamboni, but I never owned Shadowrun, and I've never played Shadowrun, and I know about Shadowrun. I watched people play it, I read about it, I never played it. But maybe we'll play that on the stream, because I think Shadowrun is on the Genesis Mini by default, which I'm playing on right now. Finally, Alex, let's go. I can't wait to start our big adventure. Whew, thank God he came back. That would have sucked without him. Alright, let's go and see if the bridge is ready. Yeah. There's a lot of games like that where they're very different. Ooh, here's one. How about the Immortal for Nintendo versus the Immortal for Sega Genesis? I beat the Immortal for Sega Genesis, but I had to cheat. Like, I had to look up a guide that tells you what to do, and even then that game was hard as hell, because those battles could just wipe you out if you weren't careful. But I much preferred the Genesis version. Oh, look, the bridge is ready. So, do you think we should go talk to the woodcutter just to see if he says anything about it or gives you anything? Let's see. I think we should. We're going to do that. You've never been to the port town of Saith? Well, then here's what you do. Cross the bridge and head south. The actual town's on the southern cape, but that's easy enough. I just finished installing the last slat on the bridge. It's good as new. Why not try it out? Guess we will.
Secure all positions. Here we go.
Charge!
Full ahead. Next stop, Zophar's domain.
Shionji, thank you so much for the follow and for joining the domain and the realm. Your support is greatly appreciated. And Luna gaining a level is also greatly appreciated. Thank you, Shionji, and thank you, Game. You both came through. So we got level 9, level 7. Okay. So we're going to cross the bridge and we're just going to head south. I always liked going south. Sometimes, or somehow, it feels like going downhill. It sure helps if I get the quote right from my favorite movies of all time. And before you ask, all the Lord of the Rings, all 3 of them, the Peter Jackson films, are my favorite film of all time. I can't tell you which is which. They're all one movie to me. They're all my favorite. Sup there, Expendable Gamer. How you doing? Yes, so Twin Tail Rider, that is true of the Sega CD version as well. You can keep talking to them every time something changes, and they'll almost certainly say something different. So, well, although I didn't like the Lord of the Rings game for Super Nintendo, I forced myself to like the Lord of the Rings for DOS. I really liked the intro song, and so like that song was so rousing to me, and that intro where it tells you about like, you know, the One Ring and Saruman's after it and Gollum and all this, and I was like, damn, this game's got to be great. Then you play the game, and the game is not great, but like it just seemed like it should have been great, so I convinced myself for a long time that this game that I never beat and didn't really progress in was really good. So, Mars Caleb, are you talking about the actual sub notification, like what we saw? I don't think has anyone subbed tonight? I don't think anybody subbed tonight. I think that was yesterday. Or are you talking about the follow alerts that you've been seeing tonight? They're both from the same game, but I just want to know which alert you're talking about. And then I will tell you which game. Saith is on the Southern Cape, so it's... Where are we going here? We must have missed it. Let's go back down.
Secure all positions. Here we go.
Like that one.
Charge!
Full ahead. Next stop, Zophar's domain.
Dreaming Rain. Thank you so much for the follow. And for supporting the realm and the domain. Your support is greatly appreciated. Again. Again. And yes, so that alert... I'm like a machine. Every time, like, you could unfollow and then refollow, and I'll still say it. Don't do that though. But that is from Lunar 2 Eternal Blue for the Sega CD. This game right here. And if you want to know where my name comes from, if you read that synopsis, I don't know if you can see it good right now, but it talks about needing to stop Zophar. And by the way, would you like to take a guess as to what the final dungeon in Lunar 2 Eternal Blue is called? Anybody want to guess that doesn't know for sure? Who wants to guess? Let's see who gets it. Zophar's Bar and Grill. How did you know, Dreaming Rain? Nobody knew that. Wow, you're the only person that's ever known that the final dungeon in Lunar 2 is indeed Zophar's Bar and Grill. Domain of Zophar. So it is Zophar's domain, actually. I'm sure you all knew that. You're just joshing me. You're pulling my leg. Oh, I think we're here. Damn it! We are almost here. Almost here. Wonder if G. Levy's here. G. Levy was really upset yesterday that he missed my stream. He said he fell asleep. He probably just needs to like play the wake up sound. I think that's bit triggered, by the way. So for those of you that are not familiar with the bits, If you scroll down, all of the bit sound effects are listed by how many bits you would cheer and the sound effect that would play. One of them, I'm pretty sure, is Wake Up, but I don't remember how many bits it is. Did I ever have a Saturn? Oh, Empty Desk Zamboni. What a subject that is for me. So, I've been whining about this for like a week now, but I did, and I believe I do, I strongly believe I still do, own a Saturn. Let me save here real quick. And when I moved out of my parents' house, 16, 17, whatever years ago it was, and got my own place, I took a lot of systems with me, but not everything. And some of the systems I left behind were like the Dreamcast, the GameCube, the Saturn, like all the stuff from like the Saturn era on. But I took my PlayStation and everything before that. And I got back almost all my systems from G. Levy. He's my brother. Except for the Dreamcast and the Saturn. Now, he has the Dreamcast. We both agree he has it, and I'm okay with it. But he says he does not have the Saturn. I tore my attic apart. I found all the Saturn games. There you are, G. Levy. We're telling the story about you. I found all my Saturn games. I found one controller. They're right over there. No Saturn. No save cartridge. So I think that the Saturn is still in that house. So I hope that answers your question. I know that was incredibly long-winded. And you always wanted to play Dragon Force. Well, let me show you something. And it's in very good condition, by the way. So, I have that. I got this. And by the way, I was in the top 100 for this contest you see right here. Like if you look, somewhere there's probably an archive of Working Design's website, and I was in the top 100. So I keep saying how I'm not a speedrunner. This is the only time I've ever attempted to speedrun anything, and I was in the top 100. But it was horrible because it was based on percent, and it was based on time. And what happened was, I went through the game twice. The first time through, I found every item, but I left my Saturn on overnight by accident like a moron, and then I woke up and kept playing it, not thinking about it. And when I get to the end, and it's like, I beat the game with 100% in 26 hours. I'm like, ah, Jesus! So you had to take a photo. Back then it was to take a photo. So I took a Polaroid of it. Anybody remember Polaroid? I know I'm old. And I then tried to play the game again because I wanted to try to get a better time. And I got a really good time of like 6 hours or 5 hours or something. Some really low time. And 99% of the items. So I'm like, geez, what do I do now? So I submitted them both. The 99% one didn't win a thing, but the 100% one at 20 plus hours won me this giant Shining Wisdom poster, which I have in my attic, and I will show it on a future stream. I just keep forgetting to bring it down. Then there's this game that I have, ha ha ha, Shining the Holy Ark, which is indeed the sequel to Shining in the Darkness that nobody remembers. That was really quite good. I never beat it either. And it's also in excellent condition. I also have Iron Storm, the first and only non-RPG that I have from Working Designs. And you can see I bought it used way back when for $33. And we have this game. I was looking online. This goes for a lot now. It's crazy. This and Shining the Holy Ark. We have Albert Odyssey. This is a really good game. Really good. Speed running before it was cool. Something like that. So, we didn't know what it was called. Nobody, I don't believe anybody called it speedrunning back then. We'll put, why don't we do this? We'll put Iron Storm over here. Let me show you guys a couple other things, and then we'll keep playing, I promise. We're getting so distracted tonight. Alright, if there's any angry video game nerd fans, or pro Jared, and no, we're not going to get into the pro Jared controversy, by the way, not falling into that, but For those of you that are fans and watch the videos, there's this one game that Pro Jared especially loves to make fun of, and Angry Video Game Nerd did too. The Hide series. And guess what game I own for Saturn? I do indeed own Virtual Hide. Now, this is going to sound really blasphemous. I liked this game when I was 15 and I bought it. I liked it. I didn't know that it was horrible. Oh, hi there, Hyper Z. Thanks for dropping in. But to me, it felt awesome. And, you know, the back, when it talks about there's like all these different worlds here, I'll tell you exactly what it says. It says, over 40 billion possible worlds awaiting your explanation. Right down here it says that. And in actuality, the game's the same damn game every time. All the dungeons are identical. The only thing that changes is the overworld. So like where things are. So you could almost think of this like the first ROM hack randomizer concept. Like, you know, those Metroid Zelda like ROM hacks where like it's random and every time you play it, everything's in a different spot. It's like that. But when you actually get to the dungeons, they're identical. The dungeons are exactly the same. But yeah, exactly. Who plays them anymore? We just talk about them. But and again, like except for the case, maybe like the game's in decent shape. The manual maybe seen a little bit better days, but so these are all games. This is, by the way, is why I keep whining about my Saturn that I believe G Levy has, because I really want to play it, but I don't think I'm going to emulate this one. I've tested the emulator out that RetroArch has, or RetroArch. Still don't know which way you pronounce it. And it's much better than 20 years ago. Very, very impressive what the emulator author's done with it. But there's still some parts, a little bit of, it's playable, but sometimes the sound will be a little skippy or like, a little bit of lag or little things like that. So I want to stream the best I can stream it. Whereas I believe Sega Genesis, Sega CD, all those games, systems, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, the emulation's very, very close. And since I'm not a speedrunner, I don't mind it. Saturn, I mind it. I can tell the difference too much. So I want to use the real hardware for that. So we will play all these games you saw. I intend on playing at some point. But I got to get my Saturn back or buy a Saturn. And just so you all know, no, I do not own Shining Force 3. And yes, I intend on getting it. But no, I do not intend on spending $500 to get it. But I will get it the right way. I just haven't decided how that is yet. Okay, before we continue in Lunar here, I just want to look at the chat because you guys all said a lot of stuff. All you peeps, all you ladies and gentlemen and people and awesome, awesome, awesome followers of the domain. He's currently playing the Saturn, mocking you. Yeah, exactly. Gee, Lev, you woke up for pizza. Where's mine, man? Come on. Mars Caleb's tempted to offer to let you borrow my Saturn. I appreciate that, but I am confident that I will get G Levy to get me the Saturn that he says he does not have that he has. Mars Caleb has Shining Wisdom. Good choice. There's a Saturn core for the Mister, pretty far in development. Alright, so this might be a reason for me to consider a Mister if that actually comes to fruition. This is making you want to grab your games and hold them up in front of your monitor. I've always wanted to do that. It's like my life's mission. Like, you guys think it was just I wanted to run a website and have, a successful emulation news hub. Nope. I just wanted to take my old games and be like, yo, look what I got. Urge to kill rising. Fading. Rising? Fading. Gone. Mars Caleb, you happen to have Shining Force 3. Oh my word. Oh boy. I guess we will have to talk about this at some future point. I appreciate that, and I will absolutely let you know if I have interest in your kind potential offer of letting me borrow it. Thank you so much. There was more stuff there than chiptune archives? Yeah, that's what's so funny. Like, when I created the site, there was no music anything. Twin Tail Rider. Yes, Ed is here. He certainly is. Hyper Z, are you okay with them knowing about you? Let's see who remembers that. We'll be able to see who the 90s emulator IRC people are now. This will reveal all. Let's go, should we heal here? I can't remember. I don't think there's ins in this game. We'll do Tranquility. That should get everyone back to full. Yep. We'll save here. And into Saith we go. Okay. Welcome to the port city of Saith. Did you journey from Berg? Oh, I see. So the broken bridge is now fixed. I'm so relieved to hear that. You better be relieved. I went all through the freaking woods for you. If you find stone circles, you can use them to recharge your power. To be successful, use them often in between battles. Nothing there. Come down this way. Hey, are you really gonna be a Dragon Master? Gosh, if you become like Dyne, I want to marry you. Dragon Masters are so hot. Oh yes, Alex, she'd make a charming, brainless bride. Think of all the stuff you can't get away with in video games nowadays. Again, another reason why something tickles my nostalgia fancy. And you get good localization. Yeah, we already talked to that dude. I want to end things. Oh yes, thank you. We had a redemption from Soda Bagoda about an hour ago of the pirate hat. So if you direct your attention down to the little green S for silver, I will knock it off my head for the next person to redeem it, and on and on and on. So every 2,500 silver, I knock it off, I put it back on. I knock it off, I put it back on. I don't have any cool sound effects yet or video for it. Just haven't thought of it yet. But I'm open to suggestions. The tower you see over to the north is a lighthouse. Without it lighting the way, it would be far too dangerous to set sail. The biggest city on the mainland is Maribia. Governor Mel, one of the 4 heroes, is the one who founded it. A boat sails from here to there frequently. Cool, man. Nothing else on that side. What a diss. That is a tough one, right? Do all of you know about the 4 heroes? Of course, who doesn't? Or no, I really don't. I'm gonna say no, I really don't. It makes itself heard every time you say Lunar! This chair be high, says I. Get back to breaking the index HTML. Oh, that's so funny. Now I remember what you're talking about. That's right. That's right. Every time you'd upload it, then I would be like, yo, you broke it! And I'd have to go edit the lines again. That's so funny. Oh, those are such simpler times, weren't they? Then I'll give you a brief rundown of the 4 heroes. They're made up of Dragon Master Dyne of Berg. He's dead now. Mel Dialkirk of Maribia, a Herculean also known as Master Mel. Lamia Ossa, the leader of the Vane Magic Guild. She's not young, but she's pretty. And the great sage Galleon, premier of the city of Vane. He was Dyne's best friend. Okay, there you go. Feel any more enlightened now? I feel super enlightened. Not light, but enlightened. FNet number Quake a lot in the 90s. Nice. Hellmel. That's right. That was what they called him. Good old Hellmel. Come a little closer. Ah, there. Let me get a look at you. My adventurers. This is the first time I've seen adventurers in some time. You remind me of young Dyne. He became one of the 4 heroes after setting out on an adventure. On his way to Maribia long ago, Dyne met up with Master Mel, who was then one of the most feared pirates on the high seas, me hearties. After fighting for 7 days, the two were so worn out, they declared a draw. After that, Master Mel settled down to a quiet life in Maribia, while Dyne, I'm getting old, and so is the story. You know it. I do. I've heard it a gazillion times. It never gets old. Ahoy, mates! This is great. Arr, I'm the captain of the Hispaniola bound for Maribia. The sea is so rough right now that me needs a sea chart to navigate it. Somebody better be clipping this. Please clip this, chat. I'll appreciate you forever if you do. That man over there is the owner of the boats. Maybe you should talk to him about going to the mainland. We'll talk to him in a sec. Man, it makes me mad just thinking about that old hag in the woods. She's a tough old bag. Man, that just burns me. I can't stand that noisy little Brad over there. That's funny. He's been droning on about being an apprentice. If I keep doing that, I might get real hiccups. Oh, guess who we're gonna meet? Guess who we're gonna meet, chat? Thanks for that, Soda Pagoda. Cower before me, peasants. I'm Nash, the magician. I'm in the 3rd rank of the Magic Guild in Vain. I'm also apprentice to the awesomely powerful sage Galleon. I've become the greatest magician in my age group. No one can use magic as well as me. He certainly mastered the art of blowing hot air. We'll come back to him. I've heard tales of an old hag that lives in the northwest part of the island. She's supposed to have a seed chart for each of the oceans of this world, but she's as stubborn as she is ugly. You won't get the chart for nothing. She's a shrewd negotiator. Be sure you go up there with something decent to trade. Alright, so no one else has another copy of the chart the old hag's holding. I think she got it from Brett. Anyway, it's going to cost you dearly. Oh, you're going all the way to Maribia too? That's very interesting. Say, I have a staff of flowing water that's no use here. Maybe someone will give us an ocean chart in exchange. In exchange it. In exchange for it, is what it should say. So guys, what do you say? Sound like a plan? Let's go to it! Arr! That's the right decision. You won't regret it. Nash has joined the quest. With my magic power, you'll have no problems whatsoever. Thank me later. And we got the water cane. That noisy little Brad's got a name. Well, I don't matter, Nash / trash, whatever the name. He's a coward. Like you have the authority to make those judgments, you pathetic drunk. So, I don't remember where she just told me to go, because she definitely told me at some point. What do you think you're doing? What? No way. I'm not letting a bunch of kids board this boat. Go home, your parents are probably worried. At least give it a look. Okay, give it here. Handed over the letter. You're the son of Noah. Boy, that name brings back a few memories. Your father, Master Dine, and I all went on an adventure together long, long ago. So by playing this game, aren't you basically on a quest to slay yourself? Well, you're the Dragon Master. The Dragon Master is supposed to be the master of the dragon, so you can, get their power, control, etc., I think is what it means. But I see what you're saying there, Dreaming Rain. I guess you could look at it like that for sure. An empty desk Zamboni misses the actual web of handmade websites. Well, yeah, when I started Zophar's domain, I just used Notepad. I basically looked at other sites, what they did, to get some ideas on what a site is supposed to look like, and then I just started putting in code in Notepad until it made sense. And man, I can't tell you the early days. I would upload an HTML file, and then I would load it, because that's how I tested them. I would test them live. And I'd look and I'd be like, oh crap, I messed up. And I'd go edit it real quick, upload it again. Okay, shoot. And in the beginning, it didn't matter because 4 people were visiting my site every week or some tiny little number like that. And so I just kept doing that over and over and over. And then once the site, I was never happy with the site. I always wanted to change it. How George Lucas kept tinkering with Star Wars? That was me with Zophar's domain. I kept tinkering and editing and improving and adding and changing and removing and adding and just never stopped. And again, that goes back to by the end, when I left in 2000, I was working on that site it had to be at least 80 hours a week, easily. Every day I would work on it, and it was we're talking 12 to 14 hours a day, every day. There were times where I would get up in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning, and be like, oh, I gotta check to see if there's a new emulator out. Oh, I gotta check to see, this site or that. It was crazy. But, there was just something to be said for just making it all by hand and not using a program. And for the first couple of years, that's what I did. All Notepad. Ahoy, mates! I'm the captain of the Hispaniola bound for Maribia. The sea is so rough right now that me needs a sea chart to navigate it. Well, Empty Desk Zamboni, kind of, sort of, but not exactly. So, yes, at some point during the site, when I owned it, we were getting money from advertisers, but I never felt right keeping it because I had, at its peak, there were, when I say peak, during the time I was there, during the peak of when I was there, we were pulling in maybe $1,500 to $2,000 in a month towards the end, and I took all of that money, and I would have 10 to 20 people that were helping with the site, and I would just give it to them. I would just write them checks and just, here you go. So I never figured out how to monetize it where I kept money. I kept very little of it. Because it didn't feel right. Like, it just felt like, okay, there's an opportunity to make money, but I didn't do everything. I founded it. I had a lot of ideas. I oversaw it. In the beginning, yeah, I created the site and I made the files, but by like, especially the last like year and a half, 2 years of my tenure, like, they were doing so much work. Infi and Stick Figure and Alamone and I could just, the names go, oh, there's so many names. It's ridiculous how many people just made that site awesome. So I wrote them checks, and that was what I did, and I kept very little for myself. Don't ask me why I don't have a C chart. Arrgh, that rascal. Next time you won't be so lucky. A rematch. Arrgh. Another thing too, I was very strict on what I allowed on the site. Like, you would never, during my tenure, there was never a single commercial ROM on there. No way, absolutely not. We had some homebrew stuff, public domain stuff, no ROMs. No copying devices when I ran it. No copying devices. Same reason. I didn't want anything, even with a hint of gray, I didn't want it. Emulators themselves, think of it like a VCR. Remember the VCRs in the 80s, 90s? That's my analogy. I'm so old. You can use a VCR for all kinds of reasons, but the VCRs themselves, there's nothing wrong with having a VCR. So I was always very mindful of that it would be emulators, it would be news, it would be save states, like that kind of stuff. And then any money we made, like I said, the vast majority of it, right back to the staffers because they deserved it. So yeah, maybe not the best business decision if you're, a business person, but that's what I did. It felt right to me. So we need to figure out where this sea witch is. Was anybody, because I wasn't, paying attention to where she said to go, where that sea hag is? Welcome to the weapons shop of Saith. What can I do for you? Alright, so there's a lot of stuff we could buy. Probably want to get an axe, but we don't have enough money for an axe. Should we save up for an axe, maybe? Should we get poison darts for anybody? What does Nash have? Let's see. I don't know why, but I remember it being, there being plenty of money in this game, and at the moment it's not feeling like that. So he's got heavy clothes. Okay, we got to get rid of that dagger. So Ramus will get a short sword, I think. And we'll equip Ramus with it. Yeah, this is not enough golds. Very Faxanadu of you. Short sword. By the way, that was an awesome game. We're gonna sell the dagger now. We're gonna have to grind to get the axes, so we won't worry about that right now. Oh wow, all of your friends on an adventure? When I grow up, that's what I want to do. Hey, you're all dressed up for adventure, big guy. Will you take me? I don't think so. Hey, sure thing, babe. I'll say I don't think so. So Alex, you had to think about your answer? What was going through your mind? I thought so. Just don't even look at me right now. Let's go, do we go in here yet? In the stores like the bounty of our great land. Alex, it seems to be a good place for opportunity to knock on our door. Arabia is the biggest city on the mainland. Ship all the jewels in the world there. They have jewelers just for the rich in that great city. Jewelers? Alex, they might buy our gem at a good price. Yes, correct. Yes. That definitely shows through very obviously when you play this. There's no way they would get away with that now. If you find stone circles, yeah, we talked to you already. I think we've talked to everybody. Alright, so everybody, we gotta make a decision now, like where we're supposed to go. Where did I enter in? The upper right corner? Yeah, right here. I don't remember where the person with that map is. Is it the lighthouse? Alright, we gotta think about this for a second, because if we go in the lighthouse and we're not supposed to go there yet, it's gonna be a total waste. But I scrolled real fast past that text. So I don't know exactly what she said. Do you think maybe if we go back in there, it'll reset and she'll tell us? Let's try it. And that's my fault for not paying attention. I need to pay better attention. What kind of manager am I? Talk to him first. Yep. We know you need the sea chart. Here we go. The northwest part of the island. Okay. You hear that? Northwest part of the island. So, let's go to the northwest part of the island. That wasn't too bad. I'm glad we thought of that, chat. Good show. Good show. Oh, while I'm in here, we can hide that pole now. There we go. And yeah, trigger fire still being difficult. Shout out player still being difficult. So we're fine now. Ines is free now. Oh, did he drop the $35 stuff? And by the way, hello GCA genius. To Washington. That's right. To Nintendo. Oh boy, do we want to go there? Does Nintendo want Zophar to go to Washington State? Probably not, right? You never know. I'd go. Someone from Nintendo called me and said, we'd love to have you up here for an enjoyable weekend of Mario. I'd be like, alright, I'll come. Whatever you say. Nah, they would never do that. Oh, we found her. Since I assume you won't part with your tasty little pet there, will you trade me the staff of flowing water for the ocean map? You've got a deal or no dice? Well, you've got a deal, of course. Okay, give me the staff. Now then, there's your ocean map. Made the trade! Alex has the map. You know, these days my attack magic's not what it used to be. With this staff, at least I can feel safe when I go walking. There you go. So Phoenix Force, there are. It's just so happened RNG was really nice to us just there. Marat haircut fund. Oh my god. There were so many things that were just awful there. I was looking at the old Zophar's domain from 96. Some of the comments that I wrote about emulators, and they were definitely me, because in the very beginning, there was only a few of us, so it had to have been me. And I said some pretty, like, just stuff that I'm not very proud of. Like, I would never do that now. Like, for VSMC, that was Virtual Super Magicom, the Super Nintendo emulator that was $35 also, and had that crippled yellow palette with no sound unless you bought it from the Brain. I think that was his handle. And I put something like, everyone should email the Brain and demand that he remove the yellow screen. Like, what? Like, who the heck am I? Like, he's the programmer. He can do whatever he wants. But that was my 16-year-old self, you know? So, you know, that's what I did, and so I'm looking over the old Zophar's domain archive that I've got on CD, and I'm reading that, and I'm like, God, what a jerk I was in the beginning. And I'm glad that, you know, people change, people evolve, you know, you get older, you get more mature. I would too, GZA Genius. I'd love to know what happens to him. Oh, we gotta heal. Yes, Phoenix Force. Zophar's domain. Oh dear. Hold on one second, guys. Yoako, are you an actual person? Please tell me if you are right now. I suspect you're a bot. Last chance to tell me you are real. Alright, you are gone. Sorry about that, guys. This is why we need a couple of mods in here. If anybody, by the way, has interest in being a mod for me, let me know in Discord, and we can chat after the stream tonight or tomorrow. I will be on after the stream, and I will be on part of tomorrow too. And I would love to chat with you if you have interest. Because I think as the stream gets bigger, and it's getting bigger much faster than I anticipated it would, we will need good mods. Because otherwise it will be me modding, and every time we do that, as you know, I have no ability to multitask. Look, I'm already going the wrong direction. I'm supposed to be going back to Sate. See what I mean? I'm terrible! Hey, Funk Sauce. Yeah, it's. I guess the difference though is like, this is stuff that's like, even though as far as I know, the really old Zophar's Domain stuff, the stuff from 96, 97, I can't find it anywhere online. It seems to only exist like right here on my CD and on my computer, and you know, but it's like I'm looking at this and like I want to like share some of this stuff to show you guys like what it was, but like some of the stuff I wrote, like the comments, I'm like, damn, this stuff's just, it's a little mean. Like the reviews in the beginning, the very beginning, the first, like we're talking like the first 2 months or 3 months of Zophar's Domain, that like maybe 60 people ever saw, but I know I saw it, so that's all I'm saying. Like I just wish I could you know, go back to my past self and just kind of like slap myself and be like, yo, dude, what are you doing? Don't be a jerk, you know? So. I think we're okay. We're going the right way. Yeah, that was weird that we went all that way and not a single random encounter, wasn't it? Yes, Phoenix Force 98. I have a feeling you are just now making the connection. But yes, we are talking about Zophar's Domain, which is zophar.net today, which I designed back in 1996. That is the topic at the moment. Let's go back and heal again. Okay, into Saith. Even the edgelords had to learn HTML, that's right. I hear you got the seed chart for the captain, thank you! Why would Master Galleon of the Four Heroes want to visit our humble island? Hehehehe, I know what his secret mission is. Don't concern yourself, peasant. So, let me say something about that, actually. This is actually kind of funny. So, first of all, thank you for the kind words, Phoenix Force. I'm happy that you're here as well. And on that note, Dreaming Rain, I thought, after I, you know, like I said, in 2000 when I left to focus on my family and whatnot, I always thought, like, man, there's probably like a gazillion Zophars out there, and like no one's gonna like, first of all, like no one's gonna remember me anyway. But anyone that does like think about Zophar's Domain, there's gonna be like 10 gazillion Zophars, so they're not gonna. What I didn't realize was what's happening was when I came back and started like saying hi and poking my head in, that it's so much time had passed that like the name, no one assumed, no one, unless you were here in the 90s, a lot of people didn't think there was a Zophar of Zophar's Domain. It was just the name of the site, like it was just a title. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat, because like you're not like I get that every now and then on my own streams and when I'm in other streams, like someone will be like, are you Zophar from that site? I'm like, yeah, that's me. And someone else will be like, wait a minute, there's a Zophar? So I always thought that was kind of funny. Like, I never made the connection there that would be that would be the thought. The original ZD URL was, I'll actually paste it here. By the way, there was a version of Zophar's Domain before November 9th, 1996 that was on GeoCities. We'll call that the beta test.
Secure all
I can't
positions.
remember what it is anymore.
Here we go.
But the original Zophar's Domain
Full ahead.
was actually
Next stop,
here.
Zophar's
You
Domain.
can't go there now, it wouldn't take you anywhere. But that was the original URL. Seppi Sale 19, thank you so much for joining the domain and the realm. Your support is greatly appreciated. And yes, that's the other thing that's kind of funny, is that I took the name from Lunar 2, from the final dungeon and from the final villain, and yet now, for those that do know the name Zophar, it's me. Like, I almost feel bad, like I reappropriated a video game character, and now, like, nobody I shouldn't say nobody. More people remember the site than the game. And I think part of that is also I didn't do a great job of explaining what it was. Like, if you actually look on Zophar's Domain and archived versions of it, I do talk about where I got the name from, but like it's buried deep in the site. Like I used to have personal pages on the site where like, here's the main site, but then you can go see Zophar's personal site where he talks about the school he went to and the pizza place he used to work at, and all this silliness, all the stuff I did. And probably like 7 people ever looked at it. But yeah, I can't remember my old GeoCities address anymore, Jive Turkey. I remember every URL from November 9th, 96 all the way to Zophar.net, but I, for the life of me, cannot remember GeoCities. And then you'd have, yeah, exactly. Touche, Dreaming Rain. Oh, that's funny, Jive Turkey. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute, is that where you got it from? And then if you really want to get into it, there's also a quote where Zophar in the game talks about, welcome to my inner sanctum. And the personal pages I was just talking about that were buried in Zophar's domain, my personal page was called Zophar's Inner Sanctum. So, by the way, there was no Zophar's Realm. I decided to add the word realm at the end because I wanted to differentiate my stream from Zophar's domain because they're different. But yeah, I couldn't find a Zophar something else. He only had a domain and an inner sanctum. You could kind of think of it like he had a realm, but he never referred to it as such. Anywho, let's go give the sea chart to... Oh, Captain Blackbeard, yar! I'm so happy to be playing Lunar. I don't believe me own eyes. It's the sea chart, thanks matey. Now we can sail to Maribia. Gave the sea chart. Oh, I blew it. Lunar. Thunderation! Me just remembered that we can't sail without light from the lighthouse. It went out mysteriously. Ever since, me hearties, the lighthouse have been overrun with beasts of an unkind persuasion. If you get my drift, matey. If you can get to the top to light it, we can sail, savvy? I'll be counting on ya. Here, take this flint to light the beacon. Flint received. Matey, all you need to do is get to the top of the lighthouse and light the big light. We'll give a little save here. And my friends, I just have to take a quick bio break. I will be back in just a flash. Don't change that dial, as they say, or used to say. I'm back. I'm back, and I see you guys got to experience the ridiculous one of the 8 million things that broke with Twitch Studio on 2 days ago's update, which is the garbled text. I did submit a bug report to Twitch about each one of these problems, by the way. And they replied back asking me for pictures, so I did take pictures. And by the way, I have to thank somebody, because I didn't take a picture of one of them, and then I remembered someone else was kind enough to have done it. And it was Soda Pagoda. Oh. And by the way, speaking of, just a moment here, while I go make something right here. All right, Soda Pagoda, thank you so much, kind person. You are awesome. You are now a mod of Zophar's realm, and you are appreciated. And thank you for that picture yesterday, because I submitted your picture of the garbled text when they asked me for it, because Twitch Studio said that it took the it automatically sends the picture, it takes a screenshot, but it never did. I learned that the help desk of Twitch does not actually get it. So, that all said, you foolish peasant, how can you begin to comprehend the plans of the Magic Guild? I hope Twitch Studio does fix the bugs, but I am going to move on to Streamlabs desktop. I've already decided, I've already installed it, and in the next couple of days, in the next couple of days I'm going to start implementing it. We do, thanks. I know, I just told you about them a while ago. She even remembers. Alright, what did I miss here, chat? You guys said a lot of stuff. We have... Suin's Wolfie's telling me about a website still live on tripod.com. I remember tripod.com. That's crazy. I didn't know they were still there. And yes, I love Lunar 2 as well, Phoenix Force. We have something in common. And you had a Megazoo fan page, Megazooks fan page back in the day. Oh, okay. And there is your GeoCities URL. That's funny. You still have never played the original Sega version of these Jive Turkey. You need to do that at some point. It's awesome. And I definitely feel like the NPC definitely learned pirate language from the Garfield Halloween special from John Arbuckle. And the text chat, yep, is definitely broken. And eventually will be fixed when I switch to OBS, which will be Streamlabs OBS, by the way, which they now call Streamlabs Desktop. What else? We are Legion, and we're up to date now. Oh god, ICQ. That program sucked. I had ICQ for a while. It ate system resources like you wouldn't believe. Like if I wanted my swap file to like balloon to some ridiculous number, all I had to do was load ICQ, and there it would be. Suin's Wolfie, we have an uh-oh. What is the uh-oh? Alright, we gotta go to the lighthouse. Let's do it. Let's go to the lighthouse. ICQ is probably under your very first email address. Oh, that! That's right! Uh-oh! Or was it uh-oh? How did it go? I remember there was a really obnoxious sound, but I can't remember how it sounded. Maybe I've beaten it out of my memory. It's too traumatic. It's too traumatic. I have post-traumatic ICQ disorder. You came here to light the beacon again? That's great. Ever since the monster made a home up there, the light's been out. Yeah, that's all I gotta do is use... I did find... Oh, I forget who was kind enough yesterday. Whoever you are, I'm so sorry I forget which one of you kind souls it was. But whoever found me the skin for ZD Amp, for Winamp, I did download Winamp, put it on my Windows XP virtual machine, and it does still work properly. So at some future stream, I will show that off. That was, I believe, the kind work of Nitro 187. Yeah, Empty Destiny and Boney, we're talking about that. They definitely, they weren't thinking about any of that stuff. I mean, they could have. I mean, if you think about it, Shining in the Darkness, that told you what stats you were going to get. When you equipped it, it would tell you what your No, it wouldn't. Actually, Shining Darkness didn't tell you. Shining Force didn't either. Shining Force 2 did. So yeah, other than the level increases, a lot of the games around this time I think were similar. For Sega games, anyway. Good luck! Let's save here. Yeah, so many messenger apps, it was ridiculous. Way too many. ZD Amp, that was Nitro. It really whips the llama's ass. Yep, there was Nitro 187 and his sister Lycia, who was actually here recently. I think her name is like Blue Desolation, maybe? Don't quote me on that. Leather clothes received. But yeah, she was here the other day. It was awesome to see her again. Alright, I think we should equip Alex with those clothes. His defense power is 11 right now, so if we equip it, we get 14. Now, can we do anything with his clothes? She has heavy, has heavy, has heavy. No. Okay. There's the flint. Okay. So, yeah, pretty much we're just gonna go straight up here. I mean, is there like a treasure chest down here? Like hidden ones? I don't think so. Oh! Here be battles! He has magic. Let's see, what does he have? He has 51 magic? Do a thunder wave, see what that does for us. You've got the new Winamp on your current PC. So is there a Winamp for Mac by chance? Because I use a Mac and, you know, I can do things in PC just by using Parallels Desktop, which is how I was able to load Winamp before, but my primary machine is my Mac. Which is crazy, because I was one of those anti, like I was like, oh, PC, man, not Apple. Why would I get an Apple? Nothing works, can't play games, can't do this, can't do that, and now I'm all about it. I was like, I just want the stuff to work. Did a complete 180. One of the current, I don't know what you would consider him, he sometimes contributes to Zophar's Domain. He's in the Zophar's Domain Discord. Reaper Man, he loves giving me a hard time about my love of Apple. he always lets me have it every time the conversation comes up. I don't know. I just got tired of tinkering. I was like, I just want a computer that I turn on and it just works. And that's why I switched to Mac years ago. But when I need to tinker, I go to Parallels Desktop and it does everything I need it to do. We need to heal. We'll do regular healing, I think. Well, I'm not a fan of laptops in general. I use a laptop for my job. It's PC. But I'm streaming right now on a 2019 iMac. I like the iMacs because I want it to feel like I want a keyboard, I want a mouse, like I want to be sitting in front of a monitor. This is a 27-inch iMac, just so you know. I don't like the laptop experience at all. I think it's bleh. Whether you're talking about PC or Mac. I'm not a fan of laptops in general. But that's me. I'm old-fashioned. I don't know. Windows 7 I thought was really good. And Windows 10 was fine. I haven't dabbled with Windows 11. Windows 8, well, that's, yeah, we all know how that went. Windows 8 was the more modern Windows Vista. Which, if you go even further back than that, I guess would be comparable to Windows ME. Anybody remember Windows ME? It's like how the even-numbered Star Trek movies were better than the odd-numbered Star Trek movies. It's like every other Windows release. But I haven't messed with 11, but hey, here it's fine. Okay, AI. Should we... Yeah, we can do another Thunder Wave, I think. Yeah, Soda Pagoda, there's no question they were very expensive. If this was... And this is probably why I hated, you know, the Apple experience, because even then, in the 90s, it was very expensive, and I couldn't afford it. But then I realized, like, they really, like, I've only ever had one Apple anything with a hardware problem, and the Apple Store did exchange it for me after a little bit of discussion. Outside of that one problem, I've never had a single problem with Apple hardware ever. It just they're well made. They're well made machines. My experience has been with them. Not a fan of Windows 11, Marlos Caleb, I got you. Every time Windows 10 in Parallels nags me to go to 11, I don't do it. Just because I don't believe in upgrading right away when it comes to an OS. For any other than Apple. With Apple, I'll do it, but I'll still, I'll wait at least a couple days and I'll listen for what people are saying and then I'll do it. But I've just been burned too many times with, in Windows where I'll upgrade and then, something really bad happens, something doesn't work, it crashes, etc., etc. Wait a minute. Hold on. Guys, did I just mess up? Oh my god. I messed up. I went all the way to the top and I didn't light the damn beacon. That's so funny. It's like in Lord of the Rings, you go to light the beacon and you finally get there and you get to the top and then you just don't light it. And then Theoden dies and everything bad happens and the movie just ends. How did I do that? What the hell's wrong with me? It's more like, I'm not Zophar, Lord of Darkness. I'm like the outtake of Zophar. There's actually a bit sound effect that has a Zophar outtake, and it goes, "I am Zophar, master of," and it censors out whatever expletive he was saying. That's what just happened. That's me right now. That's me. Zophar got 0. Can't even light the beacons. Yeah, Jive Turkey, the first I'm scrolling up now reading everything. The first Star Trek movie definitely, because it was the first, you can forgive it. It was boring. It was definitely boring. But if you were watching it, I think, because I'm 41, so I wasn't alive when the first Star Trek hit theaters. But if I had been and watched it in the theater, I probably would have been amazed by the special effects versus what the show was. I'm pretty sure that would be the case. But you watch it now and it's just, it's just not exciting. But Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, man, nothing will ever touch that. No matter what they do, they will never make a better Star Trek than Wrath of Khan. That was incredible. So many good parts of that movie. So many one-liners. Khan! Yup. And when I swing round, I mean to deprive you of your life. Give me some time. You have 60 seconds. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Wrath of Khan. Oregon Trail. You have died of dysentery. That's what I remember about Oregon Trail. I remember the Apple version where you're hunting and killing the bears and getting meat that you can't even carry back to your... Shoot! I just let Luna die. Alright, I gotta start paying attention. I gotta start paying attention, my friends. Alright, so good news is you never die in this game. You just pass out in battle and Null saves you. So as long as you get out of the battle, you're always fine. So we'll cast Tranquility here. And that should have everyone back to health. It does. Do a little savey save here. And we'll keep going up. We'll do AI, and Thunderwave. Frodo left the ring in the back seat of his car. That's exactly what I did. Yeah, I was a World of Warcraft person for a couple of years. Just after a while, I just got tired of paying $15 or whatever it was a month. Alright, Flint used. Look, it's starting to burn again. Now we can go back to safe. Well, if nothing else... Ooh, another level. If nothing else... Ooh, Thunder Thumper. Okay, Alex, you double-checked the flame and it's still burning. Let's go! If nothing... What? I just realized since we grew up together, I didn't realize it until just now. I keep doing that. I'll press A real fast, and I'll skip a line of text. I gotta stop doing that. But you're becoming quite the courageous man, Alex. I'm so proud of you. Oh yeah, this is another plot point that doesn't happen in the PlayStation version. I'm going to point every one that I can remember out to you all, so you know the difference. But before that, let me go scan the chat. I definitely missed a whole bunch of stuff here, and I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So, we left off Mac Mini. Yeah, I agree that Mac Mini is a great way to get into it, but then it's like, again, we go back to the whole monitor thing. Like, I like the way, if you get it, like, the old iMac monitors were but like the last 5, 6, 7 years, they're really good quality. So I like the iMacs, how it's just built in. But yeah, Mac Mini, if you want to get into Mac and not like blow the bank, definitely agree with you. And yeah, when you're a PC gamer, you don't really have a lot of other great choices. The M1 chip, so I opted, so when I got the 2019 iMac, I actually got the 2019 iMac 2 years ago, in I think it was late 2020 I got it, refurb, and I did that because the M1 chip at that point had been announced, but I was like, I don't know if it's going to break compatibility with stuff that I need, so I'm just going to stick with the Intel version. And then it turns out that it probably would have been fine. An old Apple IIgs. Yeah, I didn't own one, but one of my best friends at the time had an Apple IIgs. And that was actually where I first played Oregon Trail. What was your first computer? Empty Desk Zamboni asks. If you're curious what my first computer was, it was actually a... so this would have been in 94. And in 94, this was very old. But I got a second-hand 286 machine, an 8286. It was running like DOS 4 maybe, and it didn't do much. It had a floppy drive and literal floppy, like 5 1/4 floppies. You know which ones I'm talking about. And then after that, about a year later, I got a 486. Now that one could actually do stuff. That was also running DOS. And then my first Windows computer was the Cyrix 686 chip. Does anybody remember Cyrix or Cyrix? I always pronounce it Cyrix. Which was the Pentium-compatible processors with the horrible floating point performance, so don't try to play Quake on them. And that was my first Windows 95 machine, and that was in late 95. So what else do we have here? I see a bunch of wave files of Star Trek 2 quotes on Jive Turkey's 486. Brought back from a Star Trek convention. That's cool. Want to hear something terrible? I'm a big Star Trek fan. I love watching all the Star Trek series. Although I am behind. I have to watch the latest Discovery episode because I've been streaming this week, so I haven't watched it yet. But I've never been to a Star Trek convention. Never. Not one. That's going to be like on my bucket list, like things to do before I die, which hopefully is many, many decades away. But I definitely want to go to a Star Trek convention, for sure. P75 is valuable now too. Older PCs are looked for to play DOS on real hardware. Let me go break out my Cyrix 686 P133 Plus. I had a Pentium 3. My first Pentium 3 was I want to say a P3 450 or a P3 500. It was like the first Pentium 3 chips. It was the ones where they were on that board with the heatsink and like rectangular. You know what I'm talking about? Slot 1 or slot A maybe it was called, and you just kind of dropped it in the motherboard. You remember that? 486DX 260 with turbo. Mine had a turbo button. Empty Desk Zamboni. Yeah, slot 1. Well, that was a nice romp down memory lane. We've lit the fire of our retro activities. Now we can go back. I think they still have Star Trek conventions, don't they? What's Thunder Thumper do? Let's see what Thunder Thumper does. I don't know what that did. Does it make some of them sleep? Is that what it does? Alright, well let's do Thunder Wave, because Thunder Thumper didn't really do anything useful. It was Apple. I only buy refurb Apple from Apple because if I have a problem, I just go right back to Apple and they will make it right. At least that's the theory. 7. Oh, Ramus gains a level. We may want to heal in a little bit. I'm thinking might be a good idea. Let me go a little further without it. And a little Thunder Wave action. I wonder if Thunder Attack is also multiple enemies. We haven't played around with that one yet. Maybe we'll try that next battle. Oh, yes. This in the PS1 version. So, Mars Caleb, it hasn't happened yet, but I think it happens shortly. But I don't want to tell you when because I don't want to spoil it, but I think it's going to happen in the next half hour or less. So, when it happens, I promise I'll point it out. I said I wanted to test out his Thunder Attack, right? Okay. But I don't know if that works on everyone or just one because there was only one enemy left anyway. So, we still don't know. But now we will. AI, and Thunder Attack. Alright, it's only on one enemy, so garbage. Thunder Wave it is. Yeah, this was another thing about this game, another quality of life thing. The PlayStation version got rid of some of the spells that just were redundant, so like you're gonna find what's gonna happen, especially when Alex starts to be able to use magic, is you'll get a spell, you'll use it one time, you'll be like, oh, that's awesome. Then you'll get another level shortly thereafter, and then you'll get another spell, and that spell's better than the last spell that you got. And so you never use that last one again. And you literally just keep doing this until the very ultimate spell, and then you just spam that the whole time. So what I liked about the Sega CD Lunar 2 and of course the PlayStation versions of both is that they made every spell, maybe not every spell, but most spells had a purpose all the way to the end of the game. Where in this game, no. Every spell ends up being like displaced by another spell. But again, this was 1993, so it's to be expected. Thunderwave. Yeah, third-party refurbs usually don't go well. It's very true, because you don't know, like, they can do whatever they want. Like, Apple will only, they hold themselves to a high standard. And there's others, like, without going deep, I don't want to talk about different companies and whatnot, but there are some companies out there that have agreements with Apple so that they will only use certified parts and, you know, do the refurb in a certified way that Apple says we approve of. You know, use this parts, do it this way. Yeah. So those companies are safe too, but I prefer to go right to Apple. You relit the beacon! Now sailors can once again come to Saith without wrecking their ships. Thank you for that. Damn it. Literally, you take one step and it's a random battle. But yeah, you probably noticed for the most part, the random encounters in this are very fair. Like, where in Shining in the Darkness, I was like, at points I was ready to like throw my controller at the wall, which I didn't, but I wanted to. This game, the only time that ever happens is when you're lost in a dungeon. The overworld battles are very fair, and even most of the dungeons, the encounter rate's fair. Okay, welcome back to Saith. I hear you're crossing over to Maribia. Please be careful. You know we will. Saith and Berg are like sister cities. Berg is more isolated, though. Hey, are you really going to be a Dragon Master? Gosh, if you become like Dyne, I want to marry you. Dragon Master's so hot, we talked to you already. That's right, we already talked to you. You said nothing new. Oh, wow, all you said that already also. Where are we here? Where are we going? Where are we going? I thought we were going this way. Yep, here we are. You did it, matey! Yar! The light is shining from Lady Lighthouse again. Now we can sail to Maribia. I won't forget your help. If you want to come along, meet me at the end of the pier, savvy? Sweet. Let's go in here first and see if there's anything to be said. Never seen the boatkeeper talk in such a kind way. Guys must be friends of his. Thanks to you and your friends, Alex, the boat can finally depart. You can board at the end of the pier. What? She gave you the sea chart? Why'd you have to trade her to get it? Your soul? Or I'll eat your soul. 34 bottles of on the wall. 34 bottles. Take one down around. 33. Ooh. Man, this guy's talented. He's sleeping while standing up. That is pretty talented. Thank the gods you safely fixed the lighthouse. Here, as a token of my appreciation, please accept this gift. Oh, look at that. Received 100 silver. Thanks again. I'll see you on the boat. Well, that's cool. Did I know you could do that? I don't know if I knew that. That's why you talk to everyone. See? Give a quick save here. Let me just review the chat. In Silver Star Story Complete, whenever you get to a new area, you have the brief terror of the palette swap where there's a good chance the new enemies will wipe the floor with you. I gotta think about that one, Twin Tail. I don't remember. Does that happen? I guess you're right. Terror of the palette swap when you get new enemies. Well, in this game, there is going to be a spike in difficulty at some point, and I'll point it out when it happens. But as long as I'm, like, being careful with my grinding, it won't be too bad. Empty Desk Zamboni. My first emulator was Nesticle. What year? That was 1997. Yes. Yes, GCH English, correct. And that was Icer Addis, who originally his handle was Kronk, and then later Sardu. Which is from the Troma film, Blood-Sucking Freaks. And if you didn't know that, now you know that. And knowing is half the battle. And I need to put that in the stream, by the way. We need a G.I. Joe something. Now I know. Knowing is half the battle. Okay, this is what was... I guess I'm kind of spoiling the PlayStation version by telling you this, but I promised I was going to highlight the differences, so... See what's happening right here? This does not happen in the PlayStation version like this. Nope. Alex, I must say goodbye for now. And I think this is important. It was cool that you got to keep Luna after this point in the PlayStation version, but it just messed with the story. The whole point, well, you'll see. Alex, I must say goodbye for now. I've made up my mind to stay here on the island and return to Berg. No, Luna, you don't really mean that. You've got to come. I'm sorry, Nal. But I saw the pain in Alex's father and mother's eyes when we left. I'll go back and keep him happy till you return. Oh, no problem. Have a really great night, Agra. I did it again, by the way. I keep getting your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Tomorrow's the start of what's likely to be a long work week. I hear you. We'll be playing for a little bit longer, but not terribly too much longer, I think. We'll see. But I'll see you soon. I'll be streaming next on Monday. So hopefully see you then. Anyone got the ROMs? Remember the lame email page? Do you remember that, Twin Tail Rider? Besides, I can't continue on like this. It's your adventure, not mine. That's another thing I regret, by the way. This is where your true adventure will begin. And I don't want to hold you back. Ramus, you take good care of yourself. I hope you get all you dreamed of. Nal, behave yourself. And Alex, please be careful. I want you back in one piece. And I'll be quiet for this part.
I never dreamed we'd say goodbye like this. The world beyond these shores is such a dangerous place. Oh, Alex, you have to come back to me. I'll pray constantly for your safe return. Goodbye, my love.
And now the ship sails from Saith to Maribia. And now essentially you're on the main continent. Off we go. Now we're in Maribia. This is a really big town, so very easy to get lost and forget where you're going and who you've talked to in here, but lots of stuff to do, people to talk to, stuff to buy, diamonds to sell, all that good stuff. give a little save here. Alright, what did I miss? What do I do for work? I am a manager, actually. I have a team of employees that report to me that perform, they're technicians, so they perform work in people's homes. Gotta love that 90s voice acting. Goodbye, generic male protagonist. Sell that dragon poop. Alright, Jive Turkey, thanks so much for stopping by. Really appreciate you being here. We're going to be streaming again on Monday, so I hope we see you then. Well, it's been fun, but I've got to go now. Look, everyone's leaving. Jive Turkey's leaving, Nash is leaving, Luna's leaving, like everyone's leaving. I'll be staying in Maribia for a while. You too. If you need to find me, I often hang out on Black Rose Street. So long then. Nash left the party. So Black Rose Street is a magical street. So think of it like Diagon Alley in Harry Potter. But this obviously predates Harry Potter. The ship bound for Saith isn't scheduled to set sail anytime soon. Yeah, 1 a.m. here as well. We're going to be closing the stream down shortly. But I do want to just try to... Oh, here we go. At last! We're finally in Maribia. Alex, let's hurry and sell that diamond. I'm dying to see how rich it'll make us. This guy suspiciously looks a lot like the main character from Shining Force, though, doesn't he? Welcome to Maribia, a city of freedom, trade, and wealth. I got you, Dreamin' Rain, I got you. Need a Jolt Cola. For that extra jolt. If you have any questions about magic, go to Black Rose Street where the magicians assemble. It's not like Vane, but they can solve most any problem. Alright, well, there's a lot of places to go now. Maribia is the entrance to a continent full of wonder and danger. One of the most important things you can buy is a good piece of armor. Oh, darn, you know what we should have done? I totally forgot. We should have unequipped Luna. I don't know why I didn't do that. I always forget that. Like, I knew it was coming up. I pointed out that it's coming soon, and I didn't de-equip her. Darn it. Oh well, it's fine. Because we could have sold her equipment, basically. If you're going on an adventure, you're going to need solid armor. No Dreaming Rain, it does not. 90s game problems. I like this. There you go. What can I help you with? A lot of stuff we can't afford. Alright guys, I'm taking back what I said. I thought that silver was plentiful in this game. I'm starting to think I lied. I thought it was. It felt like it was, but now it doesn't feel like that anymore. Alright, I think we need a lot of stuff. Alex is the priority. So I'm thinking, let's see, what does he have right now? He's got a wood shield. Let's do this. He's got leather clothes, a wood shield, and a short sword right now. Leather clothes, wood shield. Here's leather clothes. We're not going to get him the armor yet. We already have a wood shield. We don't have a helmet, we don't have a gauntlet, and so we should get him both. And we'll equip both. So here... Oh, let's see what that gets him. So, defense 14, anti-magic 21. Defense 18, anti-magic 21. Oops. No. Oh, guys, look! You know what? I lied. It did de-equip her. Because look, there's the heavy clothes and there's the sling. I always thought it didn't. Okay, I guess it didn't matter. Go figure. I'm a fool. And now defense power is 21. Okay, so that worked out. Well, good. We'll sell this junk then. Sling, heavy clothes. Right? Yeah. No. Very good call, Dreaming Rings. Very good call. Alright, so I guess we should put the herb in there too. we don't care about the harp right now. And then we'll equip the ring so that can come back down, and that'll be fine. Okay, Ramus. I don't think we're really going to change anything on him right now, and I'm happy with that. He doesn't need anything. Little savey save here. Master Mel used to wield a huge axe with only one hand. Very impressive, to say the least. Welcome, young traveler. The city's pleasant, free, and lively, because the people here know the value of good fellowship. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring. Great. Where are we going? Remember that, and you might want to watch your wallet on Black Rose Street. We might. No spoilers. Welcome to my shop. Maribia is a center of trade. Many rare weapons can be found here. What can I do for you today? Well, a lot of stuff we can't afford is what I see here. The bow is actually really important for Nash. We could get one of these, but should we? I think we're better off getting the bow for Nash. I just don't know when we get Nash back. So I'm going to say we skip that for now. Come up here. Damn. So many places to go. The magic city of Vane is located between Maribia and the Nanza barrier. I could tell you about it, but you really have to see Vane to believe it. Yeah, this town is freaking huge. Welcome one and all to our fair city. Please stay a while. You know, if you want to see the sights. The shrine to Althena's to the east. This continent's quite vast. If you don't follow the road, you can get lost very easily. We're not going to go there yet. Oh, this is where we can sell the diamond. Dross the jeweler is not from Maribia, but he set up a shop here nonetheless. I don't think he's a very reputable guy. In fact, honestly, I think he's a crook. Yeah, let me tell you something. And then soon's Wolfie. So my dad, so I was 13 when I played this. And my dad just had set up a stereo system for me downstairs. I'm so old, stereo system. So he hooked it up and he plugged in speakers for me. And this was the first game I got to hear with those speakers, and wow, it was amazing. I'm like Dad, it's a video game, but it's like we're like listening to a CD, like, you know, or we're listening to, like, you know, Michael Jackson, or, you know, whatever stuff we listen to, or like we're in the movies. Like, it was crazy. Yeah, exactly. The receiver we had was actually a Sony. For better or worse, it was a Sony. In fact, he's a crook. Next time someone has trouble with him, I think Master Mel will beat him. Realistic. I remember realistic. Welcome to my shop. Good to meet you. I'm Dross. May I help you? Buy. You could buy a ring or a jewel, but we're not going to. Sell. We're going to sell the dragon diamond. What a marvelous diamond. I've never seen anything quite like it. I'll pay 4,000 silver. Great deal. Sorry, no deal. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe some other time. Anything else? I'll try again. Guess we can't barter with him. Great deal. Oh, wonderful. Just wait here while I put that in the safe and get your money. Gave Dross the diamond. Do-de-do-de-do. A fine transaction. He hasn't come back yet. Is he alright? Alex, I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this whole situation. I think we may have been scammed. And then what you're supposed to do is follow him in. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to save, because it is now 1 a.m. Eastern